Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking a quick look here at Alice, and just before we do, we're going to peek at Bitcoin so you understand kind of what's going on in the market. I think it's important for any good trader to essentially understand what Bitcoin's doing because a lot of coins are, reflective of that, right? So just to quickly note, Bitcoin's down the day, a big surprise. We've had a few legs down, so to speak. We're now trending just above 56 to 58,000. I do this chart earlier for my patrons based on the simple fact that I feel like we might see the price continue to trend lower over the next couple of days. And if so, these are the two buy zones that you might want to consider dollar cost averaging. Now, moving forward, taking a quick look at the moving averages, you can see we're below the 50 on the one-day chart, which isn't super important. I think the more important one here is the 4-hour chart. The 50-day and the 200-day simple moving average are moving into what is referred to as commonly as a death cross. So we'll see soon if this, what just happened was a result of that happening soon, coming to fruition. But once that closes effectively, we should see the price go down further. That's the standard and normal way that the death cross works. I hate that term, but it's just a reality, right? But bear in mind too, we're really low on the RSI, so there's a good chance that it will recover a little bit, but we might see another dead cat where the price comes up and we kind of get duped where it's like, oh cool, it's back on track, and then it comes right back down again. So just bear in mind that happens quite frequently with Bitcoin in these states. So I wouldn't overthink it, I guess you could say. So moving on to Alice, let's go ahead and take a look at the one-day chart and kind of work our way down. I've got some support and resistance levels, pretty much only resistance levels drawn up here based on a simple fact that's the one-day candlestick high and of course the all-time high at about 23.84, and of course the one-day close was about 21.34. So pretty nice and easy numbers there. We'll go ahead and take a quick look at the one-day chart. So we're both above moving averages, right? Both the 200 and the 50 are working below the price. That's fantastic. We got to bounce off of 50 RSI as well. That's equally as important, which is essentially the same level as that 50-day simple moving average. So that's working as a strong support, should likely push the price up higher. We've also got on the 4-hour chart the price above both moving averages as well. This is an excellent sign. I like to see that. It's extremely important to have the price above both. Now also note too, the price is just barely above 70 on the RSI. That's not terrible, not great. It's kind of neutral more so. It's kind of just an indication to pay attention, to consider either trimming your position or adding to your position if the price were to come back down under 70. But normally I have an RSI video that helps explain how to approach that, so check that out in your own time. But the trigger here is that when the price comes back down under 70, that's considered the sell signal. Whereas with it just coming up above, it still hasn't fully evolved yet, so there's a good chance it could continue higher. If that makes sense. So that's kind of where we're at on the 4-hour chart. All good things there. We had a MACD convergence as well, right around 5 a.m. yesterday. So that kind of gave us a signal that we had a buy signal sometime yesterday, letting us know that we wanted to basically take entry for a long position. Now, again, it can be concerning to want to take long positions right now based on the sheer fact that Bitcoin keeps selling off, but you look how well Alice is doing here today. Contrary to Bitcoin, Bitcoin's essentially just making lower lows and lower highs. And look at this, Alice, higher highs and higher lows in the 1 hour. That's fantastic. So if this next decrease comes down and doesn't go any lower than right here, then we're going to be in good shape to continue that higher high and higher low scenario. So let's take a look at the cloud and kind of see what's going on. Look at that. Right where the MACD converged on the 4-hour chart, we have an Ishimoku cloud breakthrough, which effectively just reiterates that double rainbow that I like to refer to it as, where we have two really awesome things happening at the same time, giving us that buy signal. So that is awesome. So as you just say, set up your indicators for lead 1 or lead 2 to be notified once the price crosses that plane. Then you would have been able to kind of verify that and get in, right? Those are usually the kind of signals I like to set. But Alice was on my radar, but now it is. So all good things here for Alice, though. Is the bottom line is what I'm seeing here. I do think that it's trending closer to its all-time high and will likely break its all-time high, just based on the fact that there's nothing but bullish indications, contrary to a bearish Bitcoin, right? So that's awesome news. What will Alice do when Bitcoin turns around? Pulls his head out of his ass. That kind of thing. It should be awesome. So looking here, we're at a 9 though on TD sequential. Just keep this in mind. And when I say keep this in mind, it just basically means that there's a strong likelihood we'll at least see some consolidation or retracement soon. With it, if it continued to increase, just say, for example, we'd be past that standard deviation of the volume weighted average price, and that would push the price down naturally as well. In fact, we might even be right above at that point. Looks like we are. So if you kind of see here, you can see that standard deviation line basically telling us that when the price goes above, it has to come back down like that. Okay, pulled it down, right here didn't pull down, kept pushing. So now it makes sense that the price is coming right down closer to that deviation line. So we should expect the price to come down even further. I'd say maybe down to about 1650 is a strong potential. And that would help us understand more so specifically that, the price is back within that range. It can comfortably consolidate, and we might see a leg up again eventually after it's kind of gone sideways for some time. Because keep this in mind, there's nothing wrong with the price going up higher now, right? That could happen. But the dilemma that we're going to run into is if it doesn't consolidate and just keeps going straight up, it's going to come down a lot harder, right? They come down hard and they come down fast. We don't want that. We want stability in a coin, right? We want this to keep making higher highs and higher lows. In order for it to do that, it needs to continue this nice, healthy pattern. And it has a very healthy pattern right now. We're just at that state of consolidation where we have to consolidate, or we're going to find a significant retracement if it legs up too quick. So that's kind of what we're looking at there for Alice. All good things, really. I'm definitely bullish on Alice at this point. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Fibonacci, see what they're telling us. And let's see what's going on here. All right, so let's go ahead and mark these guys here to be on the safe side for later. I always mark the highest and the lowest point there, as well as usually that center point, which is 0.5 on Fibonacci. So what we'll do, let's take a look at the big picture here and kind of see where we're at. And as you can see, that highest point for this potential ramp up, if to say we're to continue to duplicate what it did in the last 24 to 48 hours, it would be somewhere in the range of about $23. And it would put us right in that resistance zone, which is perfect. If the price can go up to that resistance zone and consolidate and then leg up from there, in other words, just say the price continues up here, right? It spends a little bit of time in here. It ramps up and one last little consolidation squeeze right against the support level, and then we see it ramp up there. That's a really, really common characteristic for coins like this. When they break their all-time high, they'll jump up above, they'll drop down to test that previous resistance, reaffirm the support, and then blast off, right? So if we can get this price to consolidate right above support at about 23.90, we're going to be in fantastic shape. And when I say it's support, sorry, it's currently resistance, but we want it to become a support level. And we'll see that happen perhaps in the very near future. I think it's likely considering what's going on here. So I do think Alice taking basically a long position from where it's at would be advantageous. I think we can probably at least guarantee a 42% increase based on the sheer fact that it's on target to hit its all-time high. I think that, if nothing else, should be likely. Whether or not it breaks that, we'll bridge that gap when we get there. I'll keep a closer eye on Alice here moving forward just to ensure that. So thank you to my patrons for requesting that I cover this, of course. I greatly appreciate you. And if you're not currently a patron and you want to become a better trader, jump on in there. I can tell you it's a really awesome experience. And you might want to lock in your rate now before it's not necessarily too late, but next month we'll be increasing the rates just based on the demand and the occupancy there. So check that out in your own time. Thank you so much to current patrons, of course, and all of my subscribers. Like literally, I started this channel 6 months ago at 0, and now we're at like 25,000 strong. Thank you very much. Deeply appreciate you. So we'll look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Have a great remainder of your day. Take care. Thank you.